I have some notes from our call the other day. This is a new form of event
Oh,
on Jam Day. So the event is 420, 421 is Jam Day.
okay.
And this is the LVPO, okay, the Las Vegas Poop Open, okay, because it's going to be all bathroom themed. We have a special sponsor. We have Dude Wipes as a sponsor.
Oh my God. What is up, everybody? Welcome into another interview. Today, I have with me another Kendama legend, as I do every single week, Haley Bishoff. She has been on the Kendama USA squad. She has been coming to MKO since the very beginning, breaking boundaries for women in Kendama, I think, and really doing a lot to help grow the sport over the last few years. So everybody, please welcome in Haley Bishoff. What up, dude?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to do this.
Oh man, I'm really glad you were able to. We've had a list of people, and you were at the top for a lot of Kendama people in the chat. So I'm really excited to have you on.
Oh, yeah, thanks everybody. Yeah, I'm stoked.
Where are you coming from? Where are you at nowadays?
I am in my apartment in Las Vegas. I've been living here for a little over 5 years now, so it's
Dang.
kind of become my home.
Yeah, that's crazy. I kind of knew you went out to Vegas and started doing stuff, but like I didn't even track that that's like your active home for that long. Holy cow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
you
I moved here for my grad school and I just stayed because the climbing was incredible. You can
mm,
climb year round here, so that's what kind of sucked me in and kept me here. Plus, the weather is awesome. So,
dang,
yeah,
you like the heat?
I don't mind it because I just go to the pool and like roast all summer, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Bend, Oregon. So that's also where I found Kendama. It was one of the major towns where Kendama popped up, like ski towns, Tahoe, Bend, all those types of places. So
Mm,
yeah, that's where I grew up and then found my Kendama journey there. So
dang. Yeah, so Bend is a lot different than Vegas when it comes to climate. So like is Bend more like
yeah.
Minnesota where like you get all the seasons, you get snow, you get all the things?
Yeah, it's very similar, but I would say like the times I've been in Minnesota in the winter, it's a different winter. It's like that bone chilling cold where you
Yeah.
can't escape it and you feel like you want to die. I hate the cold. So I feel like I loved Bend. I loved being there. It's a beautiful place. You get all four seasons, but after living in the warmth, I'm like, I don't know if I could ever go back to that. But
Yeah, I
yeah.
I felt that way this winter. We only got one snowfall in Minnesota, so it's been like no snow on the ground all winter until like yesterday. And
Yeah.
so I had to like snow plow and like snow plow and do all this stuff, and I was like, man, I could maybe not live where there's snow. I think like this is
Right.
so much
Come to
work.
Vegas. It's popping off here.
Dude, I'm gonna be there in just a few weeks, bitch. I'm
I
excited.
know. I was gonna ask you about that because I saw you're coming to LVKO.
Yeah,
You're stoked?
Yeah, we've been scheming in the background because when I saw you guys do the event last year, I was really like sad I couldn't have been a bigger part of it, and I like had this personal like I'm going to do it next year bigger if I have the opportunity. And
Yeah.
when I saw the announcement, I looked at tickets and they were like the cheapest plane ticket I'll have bought in like 4 years, I think, to go to Vegas. So I was like,
I
I
mean,
don't have a good reason not to go support the homies. And it looks like you got a sick new venue. Have you been to it yet?
yeah. So, I mean, major shout out to Brett Walters and Kelvin Wong because they're actually the ones that put it on. I don't even help with any of the planning. I
Oh,
mean,
word.
I've just been way too busy. So, and
Mm-hmm.
Mia's song actually helped with the one last year in 2023.
Oh, cool.
So they've been putting it on. They found a really sick venue. I mean, it's going to be pretty upgraded this year, and we're hoping for a huge turnout. So yeah, we're really excited. But major
Yeah.
shout out to them for putting it all together. So it's a lot of work, as you know.
Oh, yeah, dude. So much work. And we're excited to stream it, I think, because when we stream it, it just helps make people realize what the event is truly like and what they're actually missing out
Right.
on if they were able to come. So I'm excited to bring that lens to your guys' event. And I think that's going to be dope. Is
Yeah.
Mia still play? Do you still see her around Vegas?
She's been so busy. I mean, I haven't seen her for quite a long time. As far as I know, she's doing like a tattoo apprenticeship thing and
Oh,
working full
sick.
time, which is so sick. And I feel like it's perfect for her because she's always been so artistic and
Yeah.
creative. I just feel like it's a great path for her, but I haven't seen her for a while, but she did let me know she's gonna be planning to come to the event. So if you haven't seen Mia Song since like 2015, now's your time. Come to Vegas and meet
Yeah.
her and film with her. And yeah,
Oh.
she's still crushing it, obviously. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
so cool, dude. I've been putting out my feelers on every social platform I have to be like, I'm coming to Vegas. If you were in Vegas during the old Kendama days, please come to the event. If not, to just rekindle
Yeah.
your love after 10 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's probably people who played it when they were what, 12, 14, those kids at district, and now they're 24-year-olds. Like, I want to see as many of those people roll up to this event and like say what up, because it's for me,
Yeah.
it's like pilgrimage is the wrong word, but it's like like it was a big time in Kendama when we went to Vegas. Like that's when we realized we
Yeah.
had something and that it was growing, and like we were in charge of, and by we I mean people who threw events like Dave and stuff, like
Right.
that all kind of was spawning in Vegas because you guys took it so seriously with competing. And I say you guys, you're now a Vegas person, so you get lumped in with
Yeah.
everyone. But like it's there's a lot of kendama history there that it holds a
Totally.
deep place in my heart, so I'm excited to see all the homies come through and start new traditions, for future kendama players in
Hmm.
Vegas, because it's a
Yeah, and
cool,
you know
I'm
what's a
excited.
fun fact is like I know you mentioned district, but this is the first actual major event, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Vegas people, but this is the first event that's not going to be at district. So every year before, it's been at district. Last year, Kevin used to host events there. I hosted a Las Vegas AGKO there, and this is the first time we're actually not going to be at district. So, yeah,
Dang, that's cool.
yeah.
I fun fact, let's throw another fun fact out there. I threw an event at one of the Vegas hotels at SkillCon 2014 when
Oh
some
wow,
when
go
some
back.
juggler dude like tried to bring every skill thing together in one convention. So there was a sign spinning competition and there was cardistry. It's where I met Fontaine Cards and the cardistry homie for
Yeah,
the first time. But we somehow got invited and threw an event there, but it was like, I think Kevin
that's
was
amazing.
there, and oh my gosh, like it was Kevin and those kind of homies who were just clomping around to all the toy fairs and to all the different places that as those specific people who came and played. So it wasn't like
Yeah.
open to public, because I remember he charged people to come to SkillCon, and then we had to charge for our event. It was like the craziest racket
Um,
Vegas thing I've ever done, but it was
that's
history.
amazing.
Yeah. So
And another fun fact, sign spinning competitions are still popping off.
no
I
way.
literally live like around the street from Fremont. So I'm downtown area, and if you've been to Fremont, you know like how fun and chaotic it is. But there
Yeah.
was literally a sign spinning comp like a month ago.
No
It was the
way.
first time I've ever seen it in person. I'm like, we got to get these people kendamas. Like they're popping off.
It's actually insane. And the thing I realized though at Cardistry, like at SkillCon, God, it's so crazy how I don't think about it until you bring something up, and then it's like I remember interacting with those people, but like they were the Gallaghers, the like best people in card, like they were the best at what they did. So like they were kind of like, yeah, Kendama's cool, but I need to go practice side spinning for 8 hours because I got
Yeah,
practice comp in the morning, like it was it was
it's athletic. I mean, respect.
yeah.
Truthfully.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Vegas is
So
fun.
funny.
Make sure you come if you can.
Yes.
If not, tune into the
Yes, come out
stream.
support.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah. And at
Um.
the end, I'd love to plug a quick little a side event we're doing at LVKO.
Oh,
So
cool.
maybe we can come back to that at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll remind you of
Yeah,
that.
please. Let's end with
Okay.
Vegas stuff. I'm down. Um,
Okay.
but for now, I want to talk back to Oregon and back to like
Yeah.
even before Kendama, just because I think we all share similar threads. Was there anything you did as a child? Like you said, you climbed. Did you grow up climbing? Did you grow up playing sports or
No.
anything like that?
I was never like a ball sport kid. I was a gymnast my whole life.
I like
I
that's
can't
how
like
you call
I
it, a ball sport
yeah,
kid.
I mean, because there's so many sports, but I was never like, yeah, I was never a ball sport kid. But I did competitive gymnastics from the time I was 4 to
Oh,
24-ish.
wow.
So that was a big part of my upbringing. It was like a 30-hour a week thing as a kid. Like that was my
Wow.
whole life.
Yeah.
So I stopped really like super seriously doing it when I was probably like 16, 17, because my body was like breaking down when I was that young because of all the impact. And then
Dang.
I did it for fun for the next, few years. Then I went to college and I did like a college club team. It wasn't like the main college team, but I did it pretty seriously for most of my life. And then I moved to Oregon in 2001. I was like 8 probably,
Okay.
and I picked up snowboarding like when I was early teens, like 13, 14.
Oh, cool.
So I was snowboarding because we had Mount Bachelor there. My brother snowboarded, so I was like, I want to be cool like my brother and snowboard. And
How far away were you
um,
from the mountain?
like 30 minutes. It
Oh,
was like
nice.
something we do after school when we got out early every weekend. Like that was my life,
Yeah.
aside from when gymnastics was fading out. Snowboarding was coming in, and that's kind of what I did. So
Did it help your body snowboarding? Did you go to the park or were you just riding rail or trails? I mean.
I was like, okay, I never had an injury from gymnastics. Never broke a bone, never had a concussion,
Dang.
nothing. And when I started snowboarding, I was like in the hospital twice a year. Like I blew out my knee. I had like 3 times I got knocked out.
Oh,
I broke and dislocated my elbow, another one of my knees. Like I got just my poor parents like
oh
had to
my
deal with these medical
gosh.
bills and like seeing me just get totally thrashed because I think I was young and excited and like I didn't know the limit of like how to not be stupid when you're
Yeah.
that young. I mean, come
I
on,
I
who
broke my
doesn't?
back
But
snowboarding. Yeah. I am in
it's
your
yeah,
camp.
what is so yeah, I was just getting destroyed, but I did do park stuff and that's where I mostly got hurt.
Yeah.
Either like overshooting something or undershooting it. And yeah, so now if I were to go snowboarding, I would probably just cruise in the powder, have fun, no pressure. Like
Yeah.
it's not worth it for me at this point
Mm,
to get hurt.
isn't
But
that
it
crazy
was
how
so
that
fun. I
goes?
mean, looking back,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it was. They're
I would
good.
have never found kendama. Like if I didn't snowboard, I would have never found kendama. So
Oh, dang. Well, that's cool. That's
yeah,
like the one-to-one connection. So, were you literally at the mountain one day and started seeing them, or were you at school and saw them, or what was the first like
it was
what is that
school.
thing? Yeah.
Yeah, it was school because it was in my art class and it was my like ski and snowboard friends who had them, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because kendama kind of came to the US through skate culture and the ski communities. So I found it through friends in school. And they were all my ski friends. So
Dang.
yeah, art
And this
class.
is high school?
Yeah, 2010.
Okay,
So
cool.
I've been playing. This will be 14 years in May.
Whoa, you started in 2010.
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah,
Yeah, you've been playing forever. That's like I mean, that's the beginning of kendama. So, what was your first
yeah.
kendama then? Can I guess was it a TK16?
It was, and it was no, actually it was a Sky Blue Zora.
Oh, cool.
I did have TK16. I had all those ones, like all
Y-
of the JKA ones.
yeah.
But Sky Blue, I had a pink one, and then my first like actual kendama from like another company was a single stripe tribute, and that's what I learned like my first lunar on. And it
Oh.
was like the slickest paint, no stick to it. I was filming the first lunar like on my MacBook computer in the photo booth app.
Yes.
That's where it was documented.
Yes.
But yeah,
That's so funny. That's like same with me. That MacBook thing is so funny. That's all we had. That camera was better than anything else we had at the time. So that's
right.
yeah, that's so perfect. And you did your first lunar on a tribute, which for people who don't know had a
Yeah,
metal rivet through the middle and
it is not lunar honed.
no, and like yeah, I don't know if people know on kendamas like the hole is usually offset a little bit and it's at an angle for like a reason so that when you pull it up it goes at this thing. But when you drill a hole
Right.
straight through it, when you go to pull up a lunar, it does not pull up the same way. And it wasn't lunar honed. So the fact that you did that is like an impressive feat all in itself. That's so funny. Were
It
there
was a grind. I
yeah,
will say that.
so in
Yeah.
your school, were you like, did you see people doing it and were like, I'm gonna get good at this? And then did you become one of the better players? Or, were there that many people where you were like, I'm gonna get better than these people? Or, what was the vibe, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was so low pressure. Like I felt like, oh, this is something I could be good at, but that wasn't the main goal. It was just like this is fun and just mess around with my friends. And at that time too, Turner Thorne lived in he was from Bend. So he lived in Bend during some of
Oh.
those years, also Tahoe and stuff. So I would see his videos and he was doing all these crazy tricks and I was like, he was my inspiration to like learn bird over belly and like you go back and you look at his videos to get on Kusa and all his old stuff, but like that was my reference for what's possible with kendama. And I feel like that super motivated me to like get better. But it was never like, oh, I'm gonna be the best or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to get better. It was so fun.
Yeah.
So
It was super casual. Were there
yeah.
other women who played at your school? Like, did you have girlfriends who were playing, or was it all
No.
just dudes and then Haley ripping?
Yeah, but they were also ripping. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't have like a ton of girlfriends honestly through high school just because I feel like I mean, I had some for sure, but
Mhm.
they were all girls that also like to do skiing or snowboarding or something like that because that's where I spent all my time. And,
Yeah.
a lot of those communities are also male dominated, not, in a bad way, but that's just how it naturally has been
Yeah.
for a lot of time.
Mhm.
So a lot of my friends did end up being, guy friends through that time, but
Yeah.
no girlfriends that played kendama like
Yeah.
and actually wanted to get good at it.
Sure, I guess.
So
That's the separator is like some friends may try it and play just to be nice, but then
yeah,
having someone who wants to buy their own from a website, to learn Lunar, that's a different level of commitment, I think.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
for
s-
sure.
so you got your tribute and you're just taking it casually, like playing in high school. What was like the next step where it didn't become like at some point it had to become less casual, or you had to realize there was like more in it for you with where Kendama
Yeah.
was? What was that next like point?
I think it was probably when I went to college. I went to Oregon State and I moved out of Bend. So I was in Corvallis, Oregon. And I met some friends who did yo yo.
Mm.
And they were big into like YouTube and, they had like YouTube yo yo channels and everything. And we
Oh,
had
right.
a series called Basement Sessions where we would do, I don't even know if the videos are still online, but it was
Basement
called
sessions?
Basement Sessions. Yeah. And we would do like, just like videos in this basement that my friend had at his house, and I played kendama in there. And actually, Jake found me through those videos. I had met Turner through mutual friends and everything, so I knew who he was.
Oh, got
We had
you.
communicated before, but then Jake found those videos, and he kind of had an eye on me since that point. That was probably early 2013,
No
and
way.
then yeah, so it kind of started
So
on
through
like
yo-yo, like
the
Jake
group.
found you through the
Yeah,
yo-yo community somehow. Like how crazy is that?
I
That's
believe so. Yeah. It was wild because I was like, I mean, even at that time, like there was no videos on Instagram. It was like
yeah.
YouTube or kind of nothing. So that's where he found me. And then I went to the Roots tour in 2013 because they came through Eugene and Portland, Oregon.
Mhm.
And I met the team and I was like all starstruck and this is crazy. And then after that, when everything really ramped up for me and I got on tribute team. So
Yeah. Cuz for me, I guess I remember cuz I think I we met at 2014 MKO, the first MKO ever, right? Was that the first time?
Um, I believe wasn't it 2013
Yeah, you're probably right. It was
in the
November of
train
2013.
station?
Yeah, it was November of
Yeah,
2013, I think. Yeah, but I
yeah, that's
and
when I met you.
yeah, and I just remember like cuz you got announced at my house or something, didn't you? Or was it where or wasn't it that somewhere right around that time you did?
Yeah, because that was my first like. I wasn't out in the public announced on Kendama USA. That was not till Christmas of 2013.
Okay.
But the MKO 2013 was my first like trip with Kendama USA where they bought my flight. And, that was my first actual like Kendama event. So yeah, and I think we did something when we were having like an after party at your house. I mean, the event was still so small back then that like we were in your house
Yeah,
having a
and
party.
yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
crazy actually. And we still
yeah,
filled the whole entire house. And I remember I gifted you a mini kendama off my pipe in my
yeah,
room.
hot pink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you like didn't have one or something, and I was so like just like I am now. I was so excited that there was a woman in kendama. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been on your side of those things, and so I was so genuinely excited to be like, I don't care what team this woman's on. I'm just stoked that she's
Yeah.
hyped to be playing and to be part of this. So I was like stoked to gift you something. I was just like, whatever, like you can
Yeah.
have whatever. You don't have a mini, here you go, Haley. Like, because you
That made me so happy. I remember that, and I still have that kendama, by the way. It's at
no
my parents'
way.
house. I will never get rid of it. Yeah, that was one of
Dang.
my first. So
That's very cool. That's very cool. Yeah,
yeah,
you've always been so kind and approachable and stuff in kendama, and I think that's like to my point about saying you've helped things grow. I think just being that person at events for Kendama USA and for women in general, like you've always been super dope at every event in that sense. So uh, I just wanted
thank
to
you. Yeah,
let you know
thanks.
because since the first time I met you almost 11 years ago now, that's isn't that weird also
Isn't
that
that
we've known
crazy?
each other for 11 years like man, where does the
So much has
time
changed,
go,
but it's
dude?
all the same.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah,
real. So I'm gonna take a quick side tangent. Emma wants to do
yeah.
gymnastics. Should I let her do it, or did you enjoy gymnastics, or do you wish you would have done more things than just gymnastics all day, 30 hours a week?
Um, I guess okay, I loved it. I will say that. I loved
In
it.
the
I
moment,
loved
you did. Like,
competing.
yeah,
I totally loved it. I mean, it depends on like how serious you want to go with it because it does completely destroy your body. Like
yeah.
I'm
That part didn't
30 and
sound
I
safe.
feel like no, like my body hurts a lot for like how my age. Like I'm 30 and I should not feel this much pain sometimes. So like I think it does like it does a number
Yeah,
on your body, but I feel like it does give you such a good like athletic baseline for anything else that you want to do. You have like this awareness on like how to move your body or you have a baseline strength or flexibility or you know and I mean that also goes away as you age a little bit and you're not like as active in it, but I feel like it also helped me translate into climbing so much easier because like gymnastics did play a role in that. So I feel like there's so many benefits to it, but it also like took over my whole life.
yeah. Well, would 30-year-old Haley wish her parents would have like taught her to climb and do that every week for 30 hours instead of gymnastics? Like, do you think that would be better on your body or like, you know what I mean? In
Mhm.
retrospect, not that you had that
Yeah.
choice, but Emma loves
Yeah.
all those things. She digs them all. And I'm not asking you for like advice like that, but it's kind of like I think about these things when you
Yeah.
say that as a parent. I'm like, dang, like but I think snowboarding did that to my body. You know what I'm saying? So like
Right.
I feel like
I
that's
mean,
also
yeah.
whatever you do at
You
some
pick and choose
points.
your battle.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I
Yeah.
played tennis for 1 year
Yeah.
and that's what gave me knee surgeries because I stepped wrong or
Oh,
something, So it's you never know what's
yeah.
gonna get you. But
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like you can't really go wrong as long as like they're having fun and they enjoy it in the time. Like
yeah.
that's all that matters. Cause I did, and my parents were never like forcing me to do it. They're just
Yeah.
like, no, you like this and we'll continue. If this is what you want
Mhm.
to do, we'll support you. So,
Yeah.
but I think either way, like there would be injuries, there would be wear and tear,
Yeah.
you get it.
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah. Yeah, we'll send her. We'll see what she's gonna start like in a few weeks or something for gymnastics. So it's like top of
Oh,
mind. So if she has questions, I know who to ask. Old Haley will
yeah.
help.
Reach out.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, back to kendama. And
Yeah.
I say that so MKO was your first trip with the team. I told you like my memory from that trip. Do you have a memory that stands out as like a human who just got paid to go on a trip for the first time with a bunch of dudes you knew from the internet, and
Yeah. I was like very young. I mean, I feel like it's all such a blur looking back, but there's probably three things that stuck out. One was somebody asked me for my autograph, and I was like, are you talking to me? Like,
yeah.
thank you so much. Like, that's
Yeah.
so nice. Getting gifted the pink mini at your house and the after party, obviously. And then also it was my first actual competition and I just got smoked by Matt Dakota.
Oh, nice. Good name. Good name to
Yeah.
get smoked by
Yeah.
though. He was epic.
I'll take it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So those are probably my favorite or like most memorable parts of that trip. But it was just like surreal because I was like, this is actually happening, I think. Like I'm about to be traveling just like all the people I look up to. And it
Hmm.
was so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was the start of doing that. Like, and you traveled with Kendama USA for many years after that, pretty actively.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
in the
yeah.
much like Norks, we talked with him. I feel like I feel like you guys were in the same era of traveling the world, at the same time. Um, I guess there's so many questions to ask when thinking about those things. Like, you got to see the first Roots tour. I believe you went on the second one.
I was never on one. I just
Oh, okay.
attended.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, because
Okay.
I think the last one was in 2013.
Yeah.
I believe. I don't think there was one in 2014 because I was officially announced on the team at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let me have to fact check that, but I don't think there was. I think 2013 was the last one. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's chill. Um,
yeah.
so was there an event like, I mean, you went all over the world literally with Kendama, and I know it's insane to try to choose things that maybe stick out, but is there an event or like a trip that, like, much like the first time that you were like, man, I can't believe I got to go here because of Kendama, or I can't believe I'm in this position right now because of Kendama?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the next 3 or 4 years was that entire feeling was just like,
Yeah,
"Holy
yeah.
shit," you know?
3 or 4 years of
But I think,
nonstop
like
feeling that. Yeah.
yeah, just, like, in total disbelief, but I think the first time when it became, like, really real and crazy was my first trip announced. So, MKO 2013 got announced December 2013. January 2014, we went to Hawaii for the first Yodama.
Mm.
With Jake, TJ, and Dave. That was the little crew. And
Yep.
it was like the most wild thing ever. And I was also so young. I had never really traveled. So I just kind of felt like deer in the headlights the whole time. Like, how do I act? And who do I talk to? And I was so young,
Yeah.
you know?
How young were you?
But
Just
that
like
was
as a
so crazy.
reference point for
I
people.
think I was like
Also,
19 or 20.
yeah. Dang.
So
Yeah, just out
yeah.
of college or still in college.
Still in college for the
Yeah.
next like 2 years. So it's probably 20, actually. Yeah, probably 20.
Dang.
I remember I wasn't 21 yet because I couldn't drink with everyone.
Yeah,
But I was
dang.
20. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Man, so you were doing
yeah.
homework on Dama trips still for a little bit of your time traveling.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, literally, like it was like, okay, teachers, like I'm gonna be gone for a week. I'll be in Japan, but I'll be back for finals. Don't worry, like,
Yeah, for
and they
real.
were all pretty cool with it and supportive of it. But yeah, I was like, it was a hustle because I had a job. I was a full-time student, but I was not willing to pass up these opportunities. I was like, if I have to like grind and stay awake for a week to do my homework, but go to Japan for 5 days, like obviously I'm gonna suffer a little to have that experience.
Yeah, most definitely.
Um, yeah. So I didn't want to like pass that up for anything. And then after I graduated, I took a 2 year break before I did my grad program because I was still getting travel opportunities. And I was like, I can't miss this part of my life. When will I know if this is ever going to come back again? And so I'm super happy I took that break and like just did Dom stuff.
Yeah,
So
1,000,000%. And when
yeah.
you talk about Hawaii, I think we've mentioned it with a few other people, but I think the one that you were talking about, the first Yodama, was the biggest one. It was the one where there were
Yeah.
600 kids in a rotunda, and you had security guards. Like,
Yeah.
explain. Like, overwhelming is probably an understatement, but is there like, maybe getting rushed out by the security guards or something is one of the more crazier parts. But I even feel like you couldn't just go to a store in Hawaii for a while without people just like knowing
No.
you or asking for an autograph or doing something of that nature, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was just very surreal. Like, I mean, if you guys were there during those days too, so I know
Yeah.
you get it, but like
Mhm.
it was I mean, overnight it felt like you turn like celebrity, but only in Hawaii. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go anywhere else and everyone's like, who are you? I don't care. And you go to Hawaii and you're in a Walmart and everyone's like taking your photo and you're like, what is going on? This is so bizarre. But flattering, thank you. But like, what?
Yeah.
But I think it was just like the event itself was crazy because yeah, we had security, we had an autograph signing, like they had, like musicians do or actors do or something. It was like, what is this?
Mhm.
And then people would like be taking your photo and like tagging you on Instagram, and it's like me and TJ getting a bagel at Starbucks, and they're like, it's them. And it's like, what? Like, I don't know. It was so crazy. But then, like, that died out over a couple years, and there's never been a community or scene that was that crazy about Dama players. But it
No.
was huge. I mean, we were on the news. There was thousands of people that was at the Pearl Ridge Mall, and like, we got to stay in nice hotels, and Razor Sports treated us
Oh, yeah.
amazing. Like, just
Mhm.
so many, like, they were just so hospitable and awesome too. Like, they made it such a fun memorable time. Like I will never forget those
Yeah,
times.
I think that's
Yeah.
the takeaway for sure is the hospitableness. You know, every time we tell these stories or hear about them, it's just people that are they're obviously getting something out of it by having us there, but in all reality, it's like they're doing a lot for us to be there. You know, and they don't have to be
Yeah.
ever as nice as they are, but there was no doubt the Hawaiian
Yeah.
spirit was true, like always. And
Oh
Kendama's been
yeah.
coming back in Hawaii. Actually, I've been getting so many more
Yeah.
messages from Hawaiian players and old people from the island who are like, "Yo, what's going on? I see kids with kendamas again." I'm like, "Well, the schools have had long enough to like not worry about them." So,
Yeah.
well, maybe they're
Right. I know
unbanned
that
for the
weren't they
time
like
being.
yeah, they were banned from schools. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we need to do a collab event with Sweets and Kusa and bring back like Yodama. I don't know, a number four.
God,
I don't
could
know.
we? That would be like the sickest
That
thing.
would be
Let's
so
plan it
sick.
for the middle of winter, please. That would be
Okay, yes,
dope.
yes.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, I mean, so grateful for everyone who took care of us there. And like same thing for Japanese hosts. I mean, just like cannot be more grateful for how well people take care of you. Like it's
Yeah.
just so awesome. But that's Kendama also, you know.
For real. Yeah, everyone is always so kind. Everyone you don't get involved with kendama with ill intent usually. It's usually with
Yeah.
a yeah, good idea or good morals
Yeah.
or in general behind you. So, cool.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
Hawaii's dope. You went to Japan a couple times or how many times have you been over to Japan?
I went to Japan 6 times for different events.
Nice.
The first Catch and Flow, the one that was sponsored by Red Bull
Oh,
Japan,
wow.
which was really cool.
Yeah, that one was epic.
Yeah, the one. Um, KWC, I think 2 or 3 times. Um, the AGKO event that I hosted over there with Yuka.
Oh, yeah. Can we talk
What
about
else
that for
was
just a
there?
second? All
Yeah,
girl,
yeah.
just for people in the chat who don't know the acronym or what that is or where it came from, could you tell people what AGKO is?
Yeah, so originally it got inspired by Krom Kendama because they hosted a all girls video competition like way back in the day, probably like 2013-ish also. And we thought that was really cool how they were like highlighting all the women in the scene. And the girls back then, like the main girls, the OG girls, was like Kristen, obviously, Steph Lucier. There was a girl, I think her name was Daniela from somewhere in Europe,
Yeah.
Yuka, like those were all kind of the OG girls. So we all kind of like teamed up and we're like, we should do something, you know? And then we took over the video contest a little bit, did that for probably 5 years consecutively. And then we made it an in-person event. So the first one we did kind of a tour where we did it in Portland, Tokyo, and then Taiwan with Jijan Chen, the
Yeah.
artist.
Dang, I
So we did
forgot
like a
about that one.
little all girls Kendama Open tour.
So
There was
sick.
also another like women event in Japan. I think the year before we started AGKO that wasn't AGKO. It was just like girls event, girl MC, girl DJ, girl competitors.
Yeah.
But obviously at these events, like everyone is welcome to come and support. Like it's not exclusively women. It's just like women compete. You know, women host the event.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, we did that for a handful of years, and it was always so fun.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, I think it's just a cool piece of history that some people don't know. Like, because I don't think you actively do AGKO stuff right now, do you?
not right now. I mean, I kind of had to take a backseat with Dama as a whole, just because like life has gotten so crazy. Being, you know, like 30, things change, and
Yeah.
I started a business, you know, a couple years ago, and like that's just been taking over my life. So I've had to prioritize that a bit more than hosting events because it is hard. You know, it does take a lot of prep and energy and time, and yeah, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
But
The
yeah,
logistics.
I would love to bring it back one day, but not currently.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I think uh, you've done a lot for women in Kendama, and I think that's just it was you who helped inspire the girls part of NACO, MKO. It was something
Yeah.
that I think together I like. It was I don't know what year it was or what year we started doing it, but I remember asking you like, what do you think about like having just a girls division and having all the
Yeah.
women can compete with everyone else as well, but would you like to just compete against each other to see who the best woman is that weekend in each division? And you were down, like you thought it was a cool
Yeah.
idea and you wanted to help highlight that. And it's something we have not stopped doing since the very beginning, but I kind of wanted to thank you for helping like push us to keep doing it every year, because it's not been a for sure thing we do every year, because it takes a lot of time and a lot, like, we have a whole other
Right.
day of NACO, not just for that, but so we can do so many events for so many people. But every year and every time I asked you, you always were resounding, yes, we would like to keep doing it. And there are women today who have, are trying to fill your shoes as we move forward in kendama, and they all
Yeah.
feel the same way. The ones who compete are like, yeah, we like competing against each other, because it's just another opportunity for us to show our skills, and I guess I wanted to thank you, but also just ask you what you think about competitions today, and like how women in kendama have progressed, I guess, with their skills. And
Yeah. Well, thank you. And also thank you for continuing to put it on. I mean, NACO is hands down like and battle the two biggest events in, the US. And you guys have continued to do that year after year. I think it probably started like 2018-ish, if I had to guess.
mm-hmm.
2019 maybe, but either way, I mean, I've only gotten like from women at least, I've gotten more positive feedback.
Yeah.
So that's a really good sure sign to continue doing it.
Mhm.
And just seeing like, I mean, going to the other question of how competition has changed is just like the skill level is unreal. Like I can't even believe like the tricks now I can't keep up. That's part of the reason I don't compete. I'm like, I can't do half this stuff. But it's been super cool to see like, I mean, think about like battle, Nonoka won freestyle. Like that was history. That was the first time ever. Like I was like crying when that happened. When Misu won the first like girls division at NACO for the or I guess it was MKO at that time, but
Mhm.
she was the first one to win that competition. And like it just makes me so stoked because all it does is I think propel women to get more excited about kendama, get more motivated, want to come back and compete again, want to come back and win or podium. And like I think overall it's a very net positive thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, most
yeah.
definitely. I would agree. The more screen time, the more we can show things off. I mean, and honestly, the last 2017 Cody Grizz says was the first year we did it.
Okay,
So
thank
even
you.
even
Yeah.
earlier than we thought. Um oh my gosh, what in the world was I just gonna say? Oh, I lost my train of thought. I never do that, son of a biscuit.
Oh,
No, it
if it comes
was,
back, you can cut me
yeah,
off.
no, yeah, most definitely. Um, I was gonna say, the women's division at NACO, whether it's in person or online, like since 2022, and I don't know why I say that. It's just because the most recent one that we did in person, but they have been some of the most intense matches and some of the best like attended, and like the loudest I screamed at NACO 2022 was
Yeah,
at the finals of the women's division, because there is just as much on the line when you frame it the
yeah,
way we do for the competition. So I think I'm excited. I can't wait for this year. It'll be awesome.
yeah, for sure. I'm stoked to see it too.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned like competing and how it's not what you do anymore. It's not like it doesn't. It's not. It's not what inspires you, or like what I'm saying, keeps you moving in kendama. Um, could you talk about the transition of like doing less of the competition things and maybe grinding tricks, and when you started doing maybe some other things on the other sides of kendama for Kusa, and what that transition's like?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like after all of the craziness of early, like, 2014 to 2017, 2018 era, that was like my main era in kendama, I think, for traveling, for events, for competition. And I'm not really sure what triggered like a fade out other than just like life becoming more busy.
Yeah.
But I feel like with competing, like one of the reasons I stopped competing as much was just because I felt like it caused me more anxiety than like anxiety with excitement. You know how like you get excited to compete even though you're nervous?
Yep.
I was just like, this genuinely is like stressing me out. And I'd rather just like come hang out and vibe with everybody and like help run the booth and help run the Kusa Instagram. Like I'd rather do those kinds of things nowadays. And I'm not sure exactly what caused that to happen, but grinding tricks, I mean, I feel like I'm still so down for fun creative projects. Like not that long ago I got my third mod, like about a year ago. And filming that video with Mags was really awesome.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I'm just at a different place with it where it's still always going to be part of my life. I still love it. I'm still passionate about it in the community, but I think it's more than anything like a time thing.
Mhm.
just like in my day-to-day life, it's really hard to fit it in with everything I have going on, but still want to be at all the major events and like collaborate with Kusa on a bunch of stuff. Like I don't plan on leaving Kendama USA or anything like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
just different.
Yeah, I think every pro runs into it naturally at some point because it's life is just the answer. There's no like mystery, Like we go to college and then you have to do something, and unless you can work it to just have fun all the time, you got to figure out a way to do other things and just play Dama. So, and it's like not an easy decision, I don't think, for anyone to make or to feel that way or to, you know what I'm saying? It's not a for us
Right.
who love competing or who have done all these things, it's a weird transition, but kendama can still be fun and can still be super. It can be a different part of your life, I think. And I've seen you taking so many pictures at events and stuff too. Like, have you gotten into photography? Is that something you do a lot of, or?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely consider myself like amateur photographer.
Yeah.
I think kendama kind of inspired like the creative part of me, or like, learning how to make videos or take photos. And Jake recommended me the Fujifilm camera I got because I was how I kind of got into it was I was like, you know what, I take so many photos on my phone, but I feel like everyone just takes photos on their phone and then you never look back at it. And it's like, what's the point?
Yep.
So I wanted to take photos and have memories, but like maybe in a more creative way or something that I treasured or like, valued a little bit more. So that's when I got the camera and started, doing more photography type stuff. But it's more for fun. It's just like a hobby and like a creative outlet versus anything super serious.
Yeah. Word.
But I do love taking, yeah, kendama photos and at events and everything. So
Yeah. Cool.
yeah.
So now you started your own business, you said, 2 years ago. Could you, yeah, tell us, like, what did you go to school for? I think that leads into what your business is, right?
Yeah. So my undergrad was in nutrition, and I'm a registered dietitian. So I worked for years at other clinics and, hospital settings. And it's just kind of one of those jobs where you're vastly underpaid for like the valuable work you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that when you do it on your own, even though it's very hard to get set up, like not only do you make more money, but that's not even the most important part. It's like you make your own schedule. You get to have freedom. No one's like micromanaging you. And like, I've just always been the kind of person that doesn't like somebody necessarily telling me what to do, like on a day to day, especially when I know how to do the thing. So that's what
Yeah.
motivated me to start my own business. So I opened my private practice, and actually the name of it was even inspired through kendama. My company is called Roots in Nutrition, which is roots in Japanese.
Oh.
And I kind of like chose that name because I specialize in plant-based nutrition and
Okay.
fruits, and then also like tying in the philosophy of kaizen, like just like we do with kendama. It's something you can implement into like your health and your wellness and like your food choices, and like it's this continual self progression and self improvement. So that's where the name of my company came from.
Nice.
And yeah, so that's kind of like taken over my whole life, but in a
Yeah,
good way.
I know. I know
Yeah.
how a small business can do that. That's most
Yeah.
definite. So, do you do nutrition like planning and stuff for specifically people who are like vegetarian and vegan, or do you do other types of stuff as well? Or you like, is that kind of like your
Yeah.
niche? Do you try to like focus on that as your customer
I
base?
mean, yeah, those are my favorite are the ones that come and they say, I want to eat more plant-based or I want to transition to this kind of lifestyle because that's like really where my heart is. But
Yeah,
I do work with anyone and everybody. Like I never turn someone away just because they eat meat or something. It's like
sure.
at the end of the day, my goal is to help you eat healthy.
Mm.
So I do one-on-one consultations with people. I take a bunch of insurances. So that was a big process, like getting in with all these health
Oh,
insurance companies.
wow.
And then I also do like brand and media work too. So trying to partner with food companies as like a spokesperson for their company to put, credibility and like a dietitian's name behind the product and do blogs or videos or things like that. So more of the creative outlet side of it as well. So
Yeah. Dang, that's super
yeah.
cool. So have you had success like over the 2 years? Have you seen growth? Like are you excited about the future of your business?
Yeah. I mean, I think things really ramped up in the last like 6 months because all of those insurance contracts went through,
Yeah.
and it's really boring to talk about. So I won't bore you with that. But like at the end of the day, like if someone comes to me and I'm in network with their health insurance, it's free for them. The insurance pays, I bill the insurance. So it's a
Oh,
free service
sick.
for people. So yeah, I have had a lot of success. I actually had a part-time job for the last like 2 years trying to build this. So I was working while building it. And then as of April 1st, actually as of today, I'm done with the part-time job. I'm all on my own. So
Whoa,
yeah. So
congratulations.
I'm full-time, self-employed, and just like putting all of my energy into it so it succeeds. Yeah.
Full
Which
nutrition,
is
like full
scary.
Dama, you're full nutrition, full
Yeah. And
entrepreneur
all on my
status.
own.
That's
Yeah,
scary, but it's fun, you know, like you
it
said,
is.
you get all the things, you get all the upsides, but then the downsides are it's all on you too when things aren't going good. So, but again,
Right.
like any job, they have their ups and downs, but being a business owner just like gives you a little bit more stake in the game when things are happening. But
Yeah.
I've watched all your
Yeah.
content and I really like what you're doing. And as far as like from an outsider standpoint who doesn't do things in that world, like your content looks really nice and it looks really cool. So
Thank
I
you.
I, I hope it goes
Yeah.
good for you for sure.
Thanks. And if anyone out there is thinking about doing your own thing, go for it. It's so worth it. It's so worth the risk. It's so worth trying.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, give it a shot. Well,
Mhm.
speaking about ads and advertising and stuff, there's a famous ad we watched on the stream not so long ago because you and my good buddy Jake Fisher starred in a commercial together, actually, where you put your
And George Marshall.
yeah, you put your gymnastic skills to use. It was
Mhm. I was a stunt woman.
yeah, you were the stunt woman. Do you want to just like tell us like Jake couldn't believe they were going to give him money to go fly play with this toy? Like what what was your reaction to the email and to like getting to do it?
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a scam,
Yeah,
first of
for sure.
all, because I get this like, what? This was probably 2015, if I had to guess. I'd have to look. I mean, all the years kind of blend together. But anyway, I got a message on Facebook. It wasn't even an email. It was like a Facebook DM, and it was like, "Hey, I'm so and so from so and so production company, like, we saw your kendama content. We want you to be a part of this commercial with Hyper Toss, like a toy that's a skill toy. It's like a little beanbag toy if you've never seen it.
Mhm.
We're willing to like fly you to Reno and pay you for this thing." And so I was like, this seems a little fishy, but I'll entertain it. So I like get on the phone with them and get more information. And then while I'm on the phone, they're like, by chance, do you happen to like know how to do flips or back handsprings? Because we want the female character in this commercial to like come in and like show up the boys, right? We want you to come flip in and then do a trick with the thing and like, you know,
Yeah.
that was the whole premise of the commercial. And I was like, I happen to know how to do flips. Yeah, like I did gymnastics forever. So I ended up being like cast as a hyper toss like player slash stunt devil, stunt woman. So that was really cool. And
Nice.
then they flew flew us out to Reno, put us up in this hotel, and then the day before we were shooting, they're like, "Well, we need all your guys' hands to look nice." So they sent us to Walmart to get manicures, and they like paid for our manicures. And we're like, what is this? Like, I'm literally in a Walmart in Reno with George Marshall and Jake Fisher, and we're getting manicures for like a Nickelodeon commercial. Like, this is the most, and this is one of the things with Kendama is like, you never know where it's going to bring you, right? I've had these
Yeah.
weird one off opportunities that when I look back, I'm like, that's almost the highlight of all of this is like the random shit that happens.
Yeah,
Like,
you can't make
yeah,
up, like and it's so
can't make
funny
this
that,
up.
Jake would just leave that out of his story, man. What the heck? We're gonna have to roast him.
Well, yeah, he did get a manicure. I watched it happen. So I was there.
Oh, yeah, that's so funny. No, that's just like,
Oh,
I
so
watched
funny.
the clip last week and it holds up. It's still just as it's so Nickelodeon-y. You'll watch that in
It's
20
so good.
years and just laugh because it's so perfect and oh, they couldn't have cast better people. It was just great. Just great.
Yeah. Where they're like, we want like these two young, handsome boys and then like this girl to come. But if you look how young we are, it is so funny.
Yeah.
So go look it up if you haven't seen it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, I'm gonna ask some questions from Instagram. I asked a few people if they had some questions. And if people in chat have any questions, now is a good time to ask them. Um, and then at the end, we're gonna ask for some YouTube recommendations of kendama videos to watch. So, let me get to the
Ooh, okay.
question. we're gonna get to the questions. I don't know what this first thing is, but I heard someone say it in chat, so I'm gonna ask you, and maybe you know what it is. What is Super Task's best trick on a kendama?
Super Task is my brother.
Oh, got you.
He
Okay.
is a music producer. When a lot of the music world came into the kendama world, they're like, "Oh my god, you guys are related." But he's a very talented producer.
Oh, cool.
Um, yeah, yeah. But probably his best trick. I mean, he can do some cut flow. Not bad.
Yeah.
He doesn't play like a ton of kendama, but he can mess around with it. Like he can do spike and some cut flow. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Um, 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 um. What food does Bish love/crave that isn't veg friendly?
None.
Dang, solid answer. You,
Literally none.
yeah, she,
I'm committed.
yeah. How long have you been? Are you vegan or vegetarian?
I'm vegan for 14 years, just as long as I've been playing kendama. Yeah, I don't crave anything. I mean, if I had to pick one thing, it would be like goldfish crackers. Like that was my favorite snack growing up.
Dang.
And they don't have a vegan like goldfish cracker, but I also don't think about that on a regular basis. It's not like keeping me awake at night.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, I can't believe
Yeah.
goldfish aren't vegan. I guess
Yeah,
I.
they have like cheese powder. Yeah,
Oh,
it's lame.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we won't talk
So,
about that any longer.
all right. Yeah, sore subject.
Yeah. No. What other community should kendama collaborate with, and why?
Oh man, I think climbing community for sure. There's
Yeah.
been a little bit of a boom in climbing world because I feel like it's the perfect thing to kind of like warm up your elbows and your shoulders and your wrists. Also, when you're resting from a climb, you kind of just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well play kendama.
Agreed.
But I mean, any community, truly. I mean, anyone can use kendama in their life. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Agreed. What's your favorite trick that took a while to grind?
Mm, probably like a stilt tray.
Yeah.
Because once you get it, you know how to do it, but it's really hard to learn it.
Yeah. Took Roy
Yeah.
15 years, 16 years. He just got it yesterday or something.
Yeah. Pretty much same.
Yeah, no, it took me, I think, 10 or 11. I can't remember what year I finally asked one of my teammates how to do it. And then Johnny Crest was like, do this. And then I landed it like in 5 minutes. It's so dumb.
Oh my God.
But that's kendama, right? Like sometimes it just takes someone saying something to you that's like exactly what you need.
Exactly.
Do you prefer new gen play style or old school play style?
Well, I would say for myself, old school play style because I truly just can't do a lot of the tricks now.
Yeah.
But I think like obviously seeing very advanced technical like tricks is mind blowing and I think it's awesome. But I feel like there's a special place in my heart for like old school tricks.
Yeah.
That's what I learned. Yeah.
Cool. All right, one more. What's your favorite pro mod? Doesn't have to be yours.
Ooh, wow. Probably the Pastel Rock Stack call-in mod.
Oh.
I forget what year that was, but it was one of the first ones. Maybe it was the first one that actually had a design. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, it was the one that was like blue and salmon and
yeah,
I like that one. That was a beauty.
That one's a classic. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, couple more from chat and then we will let you go. Thank you again for joining us today, dude.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the questions, everyone.
Yeah, no worries. RK from Ken Cares has a statement, not a question, so I will read it. The first time Riley saw Haley in person, she was on the beach in Oregon, and he was so stoked that he called me, and I encouraged him to approach her. He was legit losing his fan mind because he was filming tricks while hanging off of cliffs. She was so gracious to him and even had Kusa send him a dama. So
I remember that.
See, it just goes to show, just like I said, you're always such a kind human in our world. So thanks for always being nice like that, because it's what helps kendama grow. Like, and that's a lesson to everyone who's listening. Like, that's how kendama grows, by being kind and giving damas when you can and teaching people and giving them the time. That's not easy to do all the time,
For
especially
sure.
around the beach with your homies or whatever you're
Yeah.
doing. But
I'm glad he came up and said hi.
yeah,
It was
exactly.
awesome.
Exactly. Um, um, uh, how did you become a Would You Rather champion? And would you ever do stream commentary with Bjorn again? Please. Cody Grizz asks.
Um, oh, I would absolutely do that. I would be honored to do that.
Yeah.
I think I don't even know how this started, but Bjorn and I got invited onto one of the MKO streaming chats or something, and we're like, we should do a Would You Rather segment. So that's what we did. But it was very fun. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love to do that again. Please have me back. Yeah.
Perfect. We will. I think we will. That sounds good to me. Any more questions? No, I don't see. Oh, one more question. Whirlwind check.
Oh God, I don't even think I have a kendama around me. Hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
I do. Okay, this has no tracking.
Let's see
This has
it.
no tracking, by the way.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
This is also a freshie. Okay.
Oh, freshie. Well, then you got to
It's
keep
not
it
home.
nice. Hey,
No
first
tracking,
tee.
like.
Oh, let's go. First tee,
Wow, I
freshie,
got a
no
little nervous. I'm
tracking.
not gonna lie. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I think you're the first guest to hit it first tee. So
Are you serious?
I'm almost positive.
That's
I don't
cool.
know. You win though. That's most definite.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, Haley, for joining us today. It was super nice getting to know more about you, and I wish you well on your endeavors as an entrepreneur. And
Thank you.
Sweets Kendama is always here. Always got your back. And if we do more NACO stuff this year, I would love to have you be a part of any and all of it that we can do. It'd be great to have you.
For sure. And before I go, can I plug a secret event after LVKO?
Oh yes, please. Let's do it.
Okay.
Plug away.
Okay. So Brett and I came up with this idea. I have some notes from our call the other day. This is a new form of event on Jam Day. So the event is 420. 421 is Jam Day.
Okay.
And this is the LVPO. Okay, the Las Vegas Poop Open. Okay, because it's going to be all bathroom themed. We have a special sponsor. We have Dude Wipes as a sponsor.
Oh my God.
We have 2 ladders. We have the potty trainers, the beginners, and the heavy shitters, the open advanced. Everything is going to be speed ladder. The trick list will be released soon. And we're going to have some seriously good prizes. And I don't know how this came to be, but you don't want to miss it.
Oh my gosh, man. I can't even. I mean, when I learned that they called a straight airplane a poop, I about lost it. I couldn't believe that was.
That's how it came to be.
Yeah, I can't believe it stuck this long and to a fact that I'm going to be at a competition called that. Yeah, that's a poop. For those who don't know, it's airplane straight air for normal humans.
Get honed on that because all of the tricks will be poop themed.
Oh my gosh. Well, Vegas is going to be a blast. And the Friday before the event, there will be an unofficial disc golf tournament. I will be playing the local courses with local homies. So if you play, figure it out because I'm going to be beating everyone and anyone who steps on the disc golf tee pad that day. So we'll see you there.
Well, I'm not going. Okay.
Yeah, you better watch out, Haley. No, come throw some discs. I would love to have you.
That'll be fun.
All right,
cool. I'm stoked you're coming to Vegas. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Until next time, we'll see you again, okay?
Yeah. All right. Have a good one.
All right, later.
Bye.
Haley. Thanks.